Hey guys, Troubletcat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade. We are doing Meet the Weapon. That was a bit of a dodgy intro, and I forgot to do something very important. Okay, you're not going to notice any more oddities on the sound now. Anyway, we're doing Meet the Weapon, and today we're talking about the M240B, or the M240 Bravo, as it is commonly said. You can see here me running it with just a bipod, no other attachments, and it's quite a nice gun, but we'll get to that in a minute. First up, in real life, M240 is the U.S. military designation for the FN MAG. MAG standing for General Purpose Machine Gun, particularly the MAG 58. You may remember FN is the company responsible for the F2000 and the M249, also known as the FN Minimi. It fires 7.62 NATO ammunition, so 7.62 by 51mm NATO rounds, same as the G3A3 and a bunch of other, stuff. And this gun is used both by infantry and on vehicles. The weapon was originally adopted by the United States Army in 1977, and at first it was actually used as a coaxial gun on tanks. So this is quite a heavy-duty machine gun we're talking about here. Eventually, a variant known as the M240 Bravo replaced the M60 as the standard infantry medium machine gun of the U.S. Army and the USMC. The M240B comes standard, set up for infantry use with a buttstock and a bipod, which is a little bit different from the configuration seen on, most commonly seen on vehicles and the original configuration used on tanks. The M240B is generally very reliable, according to reports and tests, and it's an extremely effective weapon in its role. It fires around 800 rounds per minute of that nice heavy 7.62mm ammo with an effective range of around 600 meters if fired by an infantryman using the standard bipod. The biggest problem reported with this weapon is that it's very heavy. It's actually even a little bit heavier than the M60, which it replaced. And as a result, it's a bit tough to carry and set up quickly. But the U.S. Army is actually right now working on a program to reduce the weight of the gun to alleviate these issues. And there is a lightweight version already existing called the M240L, but the U.S. Army still uses the M240B at the moment. Anyway. A variant of the FN MAG is used by around 60 countries, so this is a really, really widely adopted gun, like several of FN's weapons. The weapon is used by several countries within Europe, throughout the Americas, and also down under, where the MAG 58 is used by both Australia and New Zealand. So it's quite a popular gun in real life, in the game as well. I guess it's fairly popular. You don't see an enormous number of people using this in the game, but it's one of the more common LMGs, probably. GPMG is whatever. It depends on who you ask, how they classify this exactly. Anyway, in Australia, GPMG. Anyway, General Purpose Machine Gun is its role. So, in the game, it's quite solid. It's sort of, I feel like this gun is sort of a middle ground between the M249 and the M60 in this game, and I haven't got to the M60 yet. But basically the M60 in this game is like a slow rate of fire, high damage kind of thing, like a little sort of real good slugger. And if you recall, the M249 is sort of a mobile, high rate of fire weapon. The downfall of the M240B in this game is, aside from the long reload time, which a lot of these heavier machine guns have, this gun has a lot of recoil, which makes it a lot harder to use as kind of a run-and-gun weapon than something like the M249. You're going to see in a minute my main loadout for this, which is a defensive loadout. I'm going to talk a little bit more about why that's the case and why I'm not showing an aggressive loadout with this gun in that section of the video. I haven't actually edited that yet. I'm just recording this in the two different loadouts. I'm recording these commentaries separately. But yeah, basically the really high recoil on this gun makes it pretty ineffective if you can't get your bipod deployed, or at least get crouched or prone. You can set it up to use at close range with, same as the PKP with suppressor, short range sight, and foregrip, but I don't really recommend it. So anyway, let's get into the next setup. Okay, so this loadout you're seeing here is my basic sort of go-to loadout with the M240B, a holographic sight, a bipod, and the extended mag. I did consider putting an ACOG or a different long-range optic on here, but because of the high recoil on this weapon, I don't really recommend that. You want to keep this something short range. I actually went for a red dot sight in the end on this because I've used the holo so much. I was like, yeah, we'll be very slightly different and use a red dot sight. And so this is basically the D1 loadout for me with this gun. I really do prefer this as a sort of defensive weapon due to that high recoil. It's very, very good when you're crouching or prone, stationary, especially if you get your bipod out. It's a really, really solid gun. But I mean, I did play with a rushing loadout for this gun, as I mentioned. I played with a suppressor, a foregrip, and a holo when I was recording for this video, and I sort of checked out how that worked. And, I'd used it before. But basically my thought on that loadout on this gun is It works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. It absolutely does work, and you can definitely use that. And a lot of people, some people will definitely enjoy it. But I personally, for me, I feel that if you want a run and gun kind of light machine gun, you're better off using the M249. Should be your option. Like, it's just you could set up this gun to fill that role, but you'd be better off just using an entirely different weapon. And if you're noticing my voice sounds slightly different, or there's a little bit more background noise, things like that, I'm actually recording this several hours after I recorded the first half of this commentary, and I've had a few beers, so if I'm sort of slurring slightly and stuff like that and mixing a few words slightly less eloquent than usual, you will know the reason why. And I've also got, it's a little warm in here, I've got my fan on in the background, which might be contributing to some background noise, just to explain if you're noticing some oddities. See here, this is a really good spot on Grand Bazaar if you just set up your machine gun on this tank trap right here, this big concrete block. You can pretty much just fire down this alley and kill dudes going for B. It's also a good spot in Conquest for defending the C flag in the market there. It's just a really good spot as a support player. You do have to be careful of snipers. Actually, I ended up getting shot in the face by a sniper up the alley, and I actually cut that out of this video, but it does happen, and then killed by a different sniper later on a nearby rooftop. That's going to happen in just a moment. This is a different life. I actually died in there, but I cut it out. Along with a bunch of other stuff. It doesn't make for the most exciting gameplay in the world, I know, but I mean, that's just a really solid defensive spot. You can be killed by snipers, but you're protected from rockets, grenades, assault rifles, stuff like that. You rarely get killed by anything other than a sniper in that spot, and it's pretty good. This was a nice little place I didn't know about it. I found on this map. I mean, it's not really that good, all things considered. You really want to be further forward defending on rush on this map, but you can hold down this alley from back here behind this dumpster while we're talking about spots, I guess. There's a much more interesting one in just a second that I want to show you guys, although I think I actually mentioned it recently in a different video. I seem to remember bringing it up. There's a little spot above Alpha that you can get to where you walk up some steps. It's like a partially constructed building that a lot of people don't seem to know about, and that allows you to cover B really, really effectively. We're getting towards the end of this video here. My team did end up losing. I tried to help out defending these objectives, but it was really tough because we just got pushed so far back. Like here, you can see the bombs planted. I'm hanging back here at this camping spot because seriously, guys, what am I gonna be able to do? I mean, I could try and get up there and push in, but there's no teammates over there. There's no teammates who are moving up on it successfully. I'm just gonna die if I try that, and basically we just got outplayed. Anyway, that's this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Troubletcat out.